Hey there everyone, my name is Hitesh and welcome back to the series where we are trying to build a SaaS product with the help of AI, or rather AI-powered SaaS with the Cloudinary. So in this video, we're going to be exploring about the image upload and the video upload via the Next.js to the Cloudinary. And for this, we'll be dissecting the Cloudinary's documentation, all the resources that they have, and we'll be exploring the platform as well because you'll be using this as a SaaS. So definitely you need to be have a familiarization with the platform itself and all the docs and where you can find the stuff and all that. So step one is to explore the documentation, and then I'll walk you through the easy way of uploading the things, which is just copy paste the code, and I'll walk you through with some of the other advanced ways. Maybe you want to upload more stuff, not just images and video. So it's going to be a full packed video tutorial, that only video tutorial you need to watch to upload anything on the Cloudinary. Yes, that's what we're going to be handling up. So let me go ahead and by the way, in case you haven't joined yet our Discord, so go ahead and join our Discord. It's available there and we help you a lot in building the stuff. The entire community is there, over 50,000 developers. Anyways, so let me go ahead and share this. So this is my Cloudinary account, and yes, good stats there. We actually consume it a lot. By the way, so what we're gonna do is just walk you through that how usually it happens and how it works. So I just search for upload images to Cloudinary, and let's just even remove the Next.js. Let's just go ahead and search. So this is the first documentation that you interact, and this is how usually you search for the things and go for it. It gives you that if you want to upload, and Cloudinary's upload capability, you can upload media assets in bulk with a variety of options. That's exactly what we want to do. Now here's a quick example that Cloudinary gives you. The example were to upload hat.jpg. So this is the Node.js example. And you might be wondering, I want to go ahead and use Next.js. Is Node.js going to be useful for me or something else? I'll walk you through with that. So you can see we have to install a package Cloudinary, and it has a .v2 and which gives you an uploader which has methods like upload and .then, which can upload the file and use the file name, or you can just create your own file names and can give you result back, and you can kind of dump this result on the console and see more what's happening. Now other things, you can set the public IDs and all of that. We would prefer to get the public ID from the Cloudinary itself because it's a nicely randomly generated one. We can also go ahead and request for quality analysis and what more. There's so much more that you can do. So familiarizing yourself with the documentation is the most important stuff. If I go ahead and explore it more, there's nice video tutorial and stuff going on with that. So that's also decent. And we can see this is how it goes. But again, you might not be very much in control that, hey, will I be able to do it, not, and all of that. Don't worry, I'll still dive deep into the documentation part as well. So here we can see we have some of the upload large, and this is what they say that, hey, you can use an upload large and upload the videos like this as well. So Cloudinary actually provides you a variety of ways of uploading the things, doing the things as much as you want. So image upload is just an upload, but there is also an upload large, which is aware that, hey, the video might take some time, and it can, hey, you can set up the chunk size as well, like what you are allowing, what you are not allowing. So a lot of options are available here. A lot that you can do. Maybe you are interested in finding more about it, but before I show you more of the stuff, let me go ahead and walk you through with how to read these documentation for further resource and research purpose. So if you go at the very top of the Cloudinary, there is a getting started guide, which is okay. This is where you might want to spend more of the time in the guides, reference, and SDKs. Guides gives you the raw guide idea that I want to upload videos, the best practices, what are the player practices. So these are all guides. They actually literally tell you what to do and what not to do. That's best. Another one is references. References is, I know what I'm doing, just tell me how exactly to do it. For example, I want the upload API, what is this and how it works. So give me a reference point of it. And then it gives you the more advanced kind of a documentation that, hey, this is how the Cloudinary works, this is your cloud name, and this is the action that you need to go, example is there, and this is how you'll be able to upload on the post. And this will also give you more idea about, hey, what does this upload looks like? You can go ahead and say it's a signed upload syntax, an optional parameter and whatnot. You can go quite in depth in that. Another part is the SDK, where you can simply find that I want to know more about what Cloudinary can do in the backend SDK of Python or PHP. In our case, it's going to be Node.js. So you can go ahead and find more about what is the true power of the Node SDK. So for example, if I can go ahead and look for the Cloudinary image, it says, hey, this is going to be a front face.png. I want to transform it. So transformation, it gives you an array like parameter that you can provide. And in that you can see the gravity. That means my focus is going to be on the face. I want this height to be cropped as thumbnail. I want the radius to be 20 circular images. I want the effect to be sepia, and I want overlay as Cloudinary icon. You can have your own icon, by the way. Effect is going to be brightness, opacity. So a lot of the thing you can do on the go, and you can build your own filters. People just click a photo, tap on the things, and you just change it and transform it just with one URL. And this is how it looks like. Yeah, nice and easy way to give the watermarked image, or somebody buys your product or an app, then you remove the watermark and hey, give them a sepia look or something like that. So possibilities are a lot here, and just like you noticed that how you can actually go ahead and research about their documentation and whatnot. But one thing is for sure, we need to install this Cloudinary. We will also need that. So let's go ahead and copy this. And that's exactly what we are going to use in this whole tutorial as well. But I'll walk you through a little bit more than that and some good practices and probably easier way of doing the things as well. I'll close this one and I'll just go ahead and paste this, npm install Cloudinary. And we won't be using cloudinary.v2. We'll extract the v2 from the Cloudinary and we'll be using that. So anyways, it is all up here. All right. Now, how do we upload the image? Now, one thing is really nice about this is if I go again into the guide and especially the upload assets, you're going to notice upload assets, uploading, client-side uploading, uploading preset. There's documentation for transform, image transformation. We'll definitely go into that, but let's see how do we upload asset. If I go ahead and simply say upload assets, this is what I get only, which is v2.uploader. Do I want to use uploader? Technically, yes, I can go ahead and use it, but there are a lot more things after this uploader. So go ahead and use the uploader. And then what should I do after that? There is just an upload, but there are more methods, and I'll show you one interesting method apart from this as well. One more thing I would like to mention about this is, and the way I'm covering it in depth so that maybe whatever you want to do, you have enough of knowledge and the documentation readability so that you can do it. Now, what you're going to notice is if you go ahead and look for the Media Explorer, I'll show you some of the images that we use. Whatever the action you perform in the Cloudinary dashboard, it actually comes up as an SDK, and you can just click for it and see that, hey, how the SDK behaves. For example, do I have anything that I can just go ahead and remove it? Samples, yes, I can go ahead and probably, okay, the SDK code for actions you execute within display here. So let me go ahead and try this probably. Yeah, so I can just select it and I can delete this. I would love to delete this. And what you will notice that every action that you perform in the Cloudinary, it actually tells you that what just happened. You just called v2.api and you've used delete resources, and then you have provided the name of this, probably public ID. And then this was a type upload, resource was image, and then console logging as well. So everything that you do can be copied, and you can just copy and paste this code as well. Similarly, same thing happens when you try to upload the things as well. And then there is a transformation center as well. Maybe you want to transform the image. There is a media management, everything that you want to do. You can try out this rounded corner. You can try out by replacing the background or something. You can just click on it and you'll see what it happens and how it happens all up here. That is the nice one. And you can do it URL based. You can do it node based. However you like. It's up to you how you want to perform these operations. And you can see in the real world that, hey, this was the image, this is the before, this is the after. So this is original, this is transformed. There's so much that you can do. Anyways, now enough of the talking. Now let's see how we can upload the image and create a URL for this. First of all, we need a couple of stuff from it. So probably I'll go into the getting started dashboard. So here it is. After login, it comes npm install Cloudinary. We have done that. Now it says upload, optimize, and transform. So yeah, a lot of stuff is given up here, and we will be modifying it a little bit, but I think we can keep some of the stuff as in here. Now they actually don't send you the API key. We'll be checking it a little bit different, but I'm going to just copy this to show you that how we can modify it. And this is what mostly you will be doing. So let's go ahead and try image upload first. Yeah, that makes sense. So API, and we're going to call this one as new folder, of course, and this is going to be image upload. Image dash upload. Inside this, we're going to be creating a new file. So let me go ahead and close this. New file, route.ts. We're using TypeScript. Let's just copy and paste all the things that was given to me. Of course, I'm going to go ahead and modify this. And I'm going to read it, rewrite it. I didn't knew that they are using a sync function. I'm not going to be using a sync function even a little bit, but I'll keep this one and I'll modify this, and let's go ahead and write. Of course, whatever I'm doing, I'm going to send the request and response. So we're going to go ahead and say, let's just go ahead and grab the next, not like that, definitely, next request. And we'll be also having the next response. Next response. I just need next. Oh, I don't need API request. I need it from server. Hopefully now better suggestion will come. Next, yeah, there we go. Next request. And we also have next response. All right, so this is our Cloudinary. Now, also one more thing we are going to need, and that is going to be needed by the clerk. So we want to check only the authenticated users are able to check. Although we have placed enough of restrictions on our middleware, but having an additional check never hurts anyone. So I'm going to go ahead and say, I want to use auth, and this auth is going to come from the clerk Next.js auth. Now, apart from this, we obviously need some of the Cloudinary configuration. So let's just go ahead, and since we already have this Cloudinary as just like this, which is okay. And we're going to go ahead and cut this out because I want to remodify this piece of code. And we'll have it up here in the space. Now, obviously, we are not going to be placing it like this. This needs to be changed. So I'm going to go ahead and place them because you obviously have no idea about my API secret. You go ahead and grab your own. I'll be just changing them up here. So let me go ahead and remove this. I'll remove this and I'll remove this. The better way of doing the thing is going to be like this, and then just go ahead and say process.env, and then we are going to go ahead and say this one is next public Cloudinary cloud name. And the next one is going to be Cloudinary API key. And this one is Cloudinary API secret. The way this one is written is a Cloudinary public because this is going to be used by the client side as well, or could be used. This one needs to be 100% secure, so we are not even prefixing it with the cloud next public. This is 101 basics of it. All right, so this part is done. Now, since we are using TypeScript, we have to actually add a little bit more. Not required, but since we are using TypeScript, better to use that one. That one is designing an interface. This is purely just because we are using TypeScript here. So we're going to say that we are going to use a Cloudinary, and this is going to be upload result. And you have to definitely study the result a little bit more to finally understand that what it actually gives you. One thing it always gives you back, no matter what you upload, is public_ID, which is going to be of type string. And apart from that, it can give you more stuff as well. So a lot of stuff comes with it. I'm going to just call this one as key, which is going to be a string, and rest of the stuff can come up in any. This is not really the idealistic way, but we are much more worried just about the public ID. So you can go ahead and write your own stuff. Now, apart from this, I don't want to use this whole method. I'm going to write my own because I think that's better for me at least. We're going to go ahead and say async, export async. This is going to be a function, post request, next request. There we go. Let's go ahead and add it like this. The first step I want to do is verify whether the user is logged in or not. So I can just go ahead and easily do that. User ID, and I can grab my user ID with auth. There we go. This is the auth. Now, first I'll check whether there is no auth. I'm going to go ahead and return it like this. If there is no user ID, I'm going to go ahead and return a next response. Suggest me, come on. JSON error, unauthorized 401, pretty good enough. Now, what do I want to do next? The next step is that since this is an API route, that means I'm writing the backend first. I'm going to go ahead and grab form data. And from the form data, I will pick up a file, and then I'll just convert into array buffer, and we'll try to use it. Now, I'll show you a couple of ways of how to do it. There are a couple of ways how you can do it. One easy way is just directly use the uploader.upload, which we just saw in here. But I'm showing you a foolproof way of doing the things. You can upload anything with that. One easy way is you can just grab the file. So this is what you do, and you just go ahead and upload, and here you just take the file from the form data and just upload it up here. This is all you have to do. Send this and it will upload that. You can also optionally mention the public ID, or Cloudinary will do on its own magic. But what I'm about to show is actually a foolproof way, and you can upload anything with it. So I think that would be much more useful for you, again, from the perspective of building this SaaS. So first of all, let's go ahead and say, hey, try catch, that would be good. So in the try catch part, let's go ahead and first grab a form data. So that one is going to come up. Await, that is going to be request form data. There we go. Let's hold this into a variable, call this one as form data, just like that. Once we have this form data, then we would like to extract a file out of it. So let's go ahead and say, I'll hold that into a variable file, and form data, form, no suggestions, yes, suggestions. Form data will just get a file. We're going to call this one as file. Feel free to call it whatever you like based on the front end that you are designing. So let's just say we have a file. We have to actually go ahead and typecast this as a file. Otherwise, let's just go ahead and call this one as null. So there are chances that it might be a file, it might be a null as well. We don't know for sure. Let's verify this, that if there is no file, let's go ahead and throw some errors. So let's go ahead and say, if there is no file, then let's just go ahead and say, we're going to go ahead and return next response. If it can suggest me, file not found. There we go. Nice and easy. So far the check is done. Now, if the file is present, now file has a property that we can use known as array buffer, and that will give you bytes. And from that byte, you can create the buffer. There are 2 steps, and you can do this for any file. And then it's a stream of buffer that you can actually transfer it as a stream bytes. Again, let me give you the steps again, one by one. I think that would be better. So the step 1 is, let's just go ahead and use await for it. The file has a lot of properties that you can use. You can see array buffer, last modified, and all of this. This is the way how you actually go ahead and create this array buffer, and you can just go ahead and click on it and see that, hey, how this array buffer use. It's a promise. You can read more about it on MDN docs. This is like treating any file like a file, not just as an image or a video. It's just a file, and it has a blob. That's what it is. Now this is going to go ahead, and we are going to refer this one as bytes. There we go. Now this is not all done. There is a 3-step process of it. This is 1-step process of converting it as a array buffer, but you cannot upload an array buffer. So you have to actually go ahead and create a buffer out of it. And this is always kind of a memorized step for everyone. So we're going to go ahead and use a buffer, and this one will be created from the bytes. That's it. As long as you remember these 2 steps, that means now you can upload anything anywhere. Yes, that's the magic part of it. All right. Apart from this, now that's nothing new. Now we can just use the Cloudinary stuff and Cloudinary magic and just throw it on the Cloudinary. Let's just go ahead and say await, and we're going to create a new promise. New promise, just like that. And inside this new promise, we can just go ahead and have it. Now this promise obviously is going to return something. What we have already defined that. So this is going to create a Cloudinary upload result. This is the type of data I'm expecting back. And in here, I can just go ahead and use just like this. Classic promise creation. We're going to have a resolve. This is JavaScript 101. Resolve, reject. And we're going to say what happens on resolve and what happens on the reject. That's what we're going to mention. So this part, we're going to use Cloudinary. So let's just go ahead and say Cloudinary upload. And then we can just go ahead and say uploader. And this is going to say dot upload. Now there is so much upload, chunked, upload, all of that. We are going to use upload stream. And this is responsible for uploading any data on the Cloudinary. But we can provide some options. Let's just go ahead and do that. One of the common option that you'll be providing, the first one is where to store that. As you can see in the Cloudinary, if I go on to my dashboard, not on the dashboard, in the Media Explorer, we can see so much is going on in this, and where to throw the file, directly up here or in some folders. This is where you mention that, hey, the first parameter is going to be this folder. Where should I keep it? Let's just go ahead and hard code this as of now. Let's just call this one as next Cloudinary image or Cloudinary uploads. My keyboard is a little skewed. All right. There we go. This is the first step. The next step is to see that what happens on the error part. So let's go ahead and do a callback. So the next step is obviously first is upload response. The next one is callback. So let's just go ahead and, oops. Let's just go ahead and use a callback just like this, in which we have the result and error. Let's first handle the error part. If we are going to have the error, then reject this. Reject, that's our rejection handling, and with the error. All right, what else is there? In the else part, we can go ahead and say, hey, if it is resolve, then just go ahead and throw the response like that. This is extra. There we go. And do we have result? It is there. And it's throwing error because it's not of type of Cloudinary. So I'm pretty sure that it comes up like this. So we're going to go ahead and cast it as like this. Again, TypeScripty sting. So this is all what you do, just like that. Now, once this is all done, that means all this Cloudinary upload stream has worked. Then one more thing that you have to do, because you are taking this as a buffer. So what we can do is now come up here. Once this is all done, we have to end the buffer. So we're going to go ahead and take this one as upload stream. And actually we haven't stored that into a variable, so it doesn't know which one to end. So let's just store that. Const upload stream. Just like that. Now it has a reference of it. I can just go ahead and say that upload stream now can end. So let's just go ahead and end it. And which one to end? The buffer. So this is all good part. And again, I know this is a little bit overwhelming for a lot of people, but hey, this is why you watch tutorials, to learn new things, not just to watch what you already know. And what you already know is this part. Hey, I can do just a quick upload. Yes, you can do that anytime. But this is a foolproof way, and you'll notice that how we can actually reuse this. We'll use exactly same code, copy and pasted in the video part as well. That's where you're going to start see that, hey, this is really good and nice. All right, so this part is all done. So await promise is all done. We don't need to, let's just store that into a variable as well, if we are already up here. So let's just call this one as result. And just like that. Now that I have this result, I can just go ahead and send it as a response. So return, you can suggest me next response. We can send the result just like this. And actually we probably can use a little bit more magic up here. We don't need to send it like this. Status is okay. I'm not worried about that. Instead of this, let's just go ahead and say, I want to send you directly a public ID. Public ID, and we can extract the public ID from this result, because this is something that always comes. And then we can just go ahead and say public underscore ID. All right, so better result. And let's just say like this. And there we go. Just trying to arrange that a little bit better so that it's easier. All right, so this is much easier on the eyes. So there we go. We have this one got up and running. Now let's just go ahead and handle the error part as well. First of all, let's just do a console log. In the case of Cloudinary, it is important that you do the console log. It fails a lot of time for me. So I always do that, at least when I'm building the product. So let's just go ahead and do a console log. And throwing up error just like this also is fine. But I would say upload image failed. And we're going to throw the error just like this. And then we're going to return the next response suggestions, JSON, upload image failed, 500, just like that. All right, so you saw that. Okay, this is how we upload the image. It took us a lot of time. A lot of effort was being made. But the idea behind that is that it is really nice. A lot of things can be done now. And let me show you the magic. We have gone through with all this process. All right, now let me show you something. I can just go ahead, click on the API, new folder, and I'm going to say this one is going to be my video upload. Video-upload. And inside the video upload, we're going to go ahead and say this is going to be a new file, of course, route.ts. Or better if we could create a utility on that as well. But hey, let's just go ahead, copy this. Anyways, it's there. So there we go. It can work right out of the box, but there is a little bit more requirement. When we are uploading the video, it's not just we are sending the video. Otherwise, it would be nice. can work out of the box. But if you remember, we are also talking to Prisma. So whatever the user is uploading, we are taking that information. It's not just going to be any route. So let me just go ahead and walk you through. We still have this one here. So if I go ahead and upload the video and it asks me to sign up, and I can just sign up if I remember the password. Hopefully it does. So let me go ahead and show you that. All right. If I remember my password, which I don't. Let me go ahead and create a new user quickly there and show you something. All right, finally in the platform, and yeah, I forgot the password anyways. So this is all the information that is coming up. We are able to add the title, we are able to add the description, and then we are picking up the video file. Now this API that you're designing, obviously this, whenever you hit the upload button, this is going to request to your own API in the Next.js, and that API needs to do a couple of tasks. First of all, it needs to upload the buffer or the video, whatever you're using for that, it needs to send it there. Then the response needs to come back, and that response will give you a public ID. And through that public ID, you need to store everything onto your database as well. So Prisma also needs to come into picture. Once you have this public ID, then you have to say unique ID, which automatically will be given to you, a title, a description, and a public ID, then the original size, compressed size, duration. So you don't have all this information. So we need to figure out a way that how you can actually do all of that stuff here. Otherwise, this application is absolutely fine. It can work out of the box. So that's the good part. Let's just go ahead and walk through it. This is all import statement, Cloudinary configuration. All right, I'm good with that. But now the Cloudinary result is going to be a little bit different. Obviously, the public ID will be there. I'll keep it there. But I'll also keep the bytes and the duration of it. So let's just go ahead and add this. This one is going to have one more information, which is bytes. Let's just go ahead, and this is what you get with the videos automatically. So we're going to go ahead and say this is going to be number, and we're going to be saying duration, which is optional, and this is going to be a number. The reason for optional is sometimes maybe you want to use it not for videos but PDF, then the duration doesn't come for that, and there could be more ways of handling this. Anyways, now we are going to go ahead and say, hey, this is going to be our post method, of course. And inside the post method, before we actually hit that, I would love to do a global initialization of my Prisma even before the Cloudinary config. So this is where I would like to start that, hey, I need Prisma, so give me a Prisma. Let's just go ahead and say Prisma, and that's going to be coming up from new and Prisma client. There we go. Why is it giving me the extension? I don't need this. Prisma client. Now, once this is done, let's go up here. So first of all, obviously, we'll go ahead and say that, hey, in here, we can actually do one more check for this. Of course, we can do the check for user ID. There is no big deal. You can go ahead and you should do that. Actually, I should keep this as an assignment for you. Hey, this is your to-do. To check user. All right, good assignment for you. Now, let's just do another kind of a check, which is really important. Let's just go ahead and say that, hey, if there is no environment variables, just like this, as you can see, then go ahead and throw some error on this case. This is also one more check that we should have done in the previous video as well. But as you go more, proceed into SaaS application, building more professional, covering all edge cases, then you can probably go ahead and try that. In this, we can just go says Cloudinary credentials not found and something, so errors can be given. Now, next step is simple, same step. We can go ahead and have the form data. So let's just go ahead and, hey, give us the form data and all these things. I think this all can go inside the try catch. Let's just cut this out and send it up here. There we go. So to-do task is for you. Then the Cloudinary task is for you as well. Then we are checking up here. And there we go, looks easy. So form data, the step one is to grab a form data. What we're going to grab from this, we're going to say request form data. The file, yeah, we'll be getting the file like this, but we have other information as well. So let's just go ahead and say we will have a title, and that can be grabbed from form data. That can be a string. I don't think so. It will be null, or we'll just not allow to submit the form. We'll have a description, and that description will be coming up from form data, description as string. And we'll also have an original size as well. So const original size. There are a couple of ways how we can grab it. It's not a big deal. Form data dot get original size, just like that. So how we're going to grab all these information? Now that's a big question. Now this is exactly the point where sometimes people ask me that, hey Tesh, can we get the original file size automatically? No, you won't. You won't be getting this. You need to send this to me, because if there is a file that is getting uploaded, you can handle that event and can send me the file size as a string. That's a front end thing, and that you can handle easily. I'll show you that as well. Don't you worry about that part, but this can be handled. Now after this, the first thing is, yeah, this one is nice, that if we don't have a file, we would love to give you an error message. Rest of the stuff, hey, convert this into bytes and buffer, array buffer to buffer. Hey, stuff is same. After that, the Cloudinary can actually go ahead and upload the stream. Hey, stuff is same. Now we can go ahead and have this folder changed. Yeah, I would love to change this folder. In fact, I would love to add additional properties on this one as well. Yes, you can go ahead and literally do that. I'll just call this one as video dash uploads. It's a folder name. You can give that. We would also define here, and that you can do, is resource type, and I'll go ahead and say this is going to be a video resource. You can mention the other resources as well, but I'll go ahead and do that. And apart from this, you can also go ahead and do transformation on the video to save your storage and bandwidth. So there's a nice option here which says transformation, and it has so many properties. The interesting part is it's an array. Yeah, that's the transformation. And there we go, just goes like this. And inside this, I can go ahead and say that, hey, what do you want in this one? I'll say, let's start with the quality. We're going to go ahead and not bother much about it. It's going to be auto. And we're only allowing user to upload. So we're going to say that, hey, we have a fetch format as well. And that's not going to be auto. We will be restricting it to MP4. So, hey, I don't have to write an extra validation or checker that, hey, whether things are going up nicely or not, which file to support, which one to not. I can just add a couple of variations. This part don't need to be edited. This is all once the code you have written that works. Upload stream ends, hey, it's a buffer. So go ahead and use that. But rest of the thing actually changes because we don't want to return just like that. We want to actually, instead of doing this part, we want to add Prisma. And remember, this is on our behalf because we have a flow like that. Cloudinary has nothing to do in that. So let's just go ahead and create a video, and we are going to go ahead and say await. And we're going to go ahead and say Prisma, go ahead and talk to video, and just go ahead and create a data like that. Let's see how good they are doing. Title, description, public ID, result. Do we have calling it as a result? Yeah, nice. A result is going to have a public ID, the original size, and this one is going to be probably my typo, I'm sure. That is why I love AI. Sometimes it saves me. Original size is good. Compressed size. This is interesting because you cannot actually use it like this. Result.bytes is okay. This is where the AI fails. This needs to be string. All right. And duration. This is going to be result.duration. If we get that, that's great. Otherwise, we'll call it as 0. And duration. It should be all okay. What am I missing? What am I missing here? Give me suggestions. Type number is not assignable to type string. So this should be number. This should be number. And what we are getting here is probably, but this should be a number. Let me go ahead and quickly check this. All right, having error is good sometime, and I really don't chop out these part because, hey, there was an error, and that's how the programs and softwares are being designed. Let me show you how I actually fixed that. So it was bothering me a little bit that, hey, why is this duration not taking the result? Because I know result duration is usually numbers, or I have optionally provided 0 if it doesn't get it. So what's wrong with it? I checked first here at the top that, hey, what kind of interface I'm designing? It looks okay, but why is it bothering me? Then another step to check it, because here what makes sense is since you are creating a Prisma, there might be a problem in the Prisma model. I went up here, checked it, and I couldn't really figure out what's going on because you cannot figure out much until there is a data. Everything looks okay. There's nothing suspicious. Compressed size, original size, public ID, created at, updated at, duration, nothing to be seen. Then I went into the Prisma file and find out, oh, that means I actually accidentally made it as a string. It needs to be float. changed it and run the same command again that, hey, we need to migrate this again. So the migration happened and we probably have got new SQL commands as well. So this one is the float fix, which I kept it, and it says, hey, alter one table, and then go ahead and change it as a double precision. That's it. That's it. But yes, it is good that you are able to witness this, that, hey, this is how things are being designed on the go, and this is how you face the errors. And this is where your intuition kicks in that, hey, the things didn't went according to us. Anyways, once this is all being done, the video, we have a response. We can send a response back to video. This is taking too much of the line, so we can just reduce it down to like this and probably this. So all we need to do is send this. And this needs a different message. This time we'll say upload video failed, in case it did. And that's it. We can just go ahead and send the response like this. And since we have connected with the Prisma, we need to disconnect as well. Error message should be a little different. Let's just go ahead and say upload video failed. And once this is all done, let's just go ahead and invoke the finally block and say await. I have Prisma, and we're going to say disconnect, and there we go. Now, this is one such example where you can now handle pretty much any file, MP3, PDF, whatever comes to you. And you have seen two variations in that. One is directly uploading it, just like here. And here we are actually interacting with database on the go, and we are just doing that. So I think you do not need any other guide other than this, that, hey, this is all what you need to upload anything on the cloud, on the Cloudinary. So I think this solves a lot of your problem and solves a lot of stuff. But again, Cloudinary docs are also great. You can use the upload methods and upload large methods and chunk and all of those methods. They're absolutely good, but hey, this is also nice. So I hope you have enjoyed this video and you have seen and witnessed some of the real-time debugging issues as well. If you are enjoying this, please, please, please do share this series on the Twitter and on LinkedIn. I would be very, very thankful to you. And if you can leave a drop, just a heart or just a hi or a thanks in the comment section, I would be really, really happy. That's it for this one. Let's catch up in the next video.